once students understand counting and have the fundamentals of counting, it's important that we work on counting fluency. Remember, fluency is doing things easily and accurately. So one of the things that would be really, really important here is that we really review the counting principles. Stable order, knowing the number names in order, one-to-one correspondence, each finger or each count gets one count and only one count. Cardinality, oh, I have 4 in my set. Order irrelevance, it doesn't matter the order that I count these in. And abstraction, I could count my fingers and my toes. I've got an abstract set and I could still count them to tell you how many are in the set. Now, ways that we can practice this. Well, one of the ways is that students can practice their one-to-one correspondence using muffin tins. So here I've got my muffin tins, and then students could place a number in each set. So for example, maybe students here count 1, and then on this one they could just put another 1 and count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you could use that for partitioning and tagging. But I could also use this to show different quantities. So for example, I touch and count here 1, and then here I touch and count 1, 2, and then here I touch and count 1, 2, 3. So there's different ways that you can use an activity like this muffin tin to help students with their counting fluency. Another thing that we can do is play the partner egg game. So partners here will grab an egg from the basket, and then on the count of 3, they're gonna crack open their egg, and then they're going to count what's in their egg. So maybe here I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe that's what came out of my egg. Then the partner with the greatest amount, then they could win that round. That's almost getting us to what we'll talk about next, which is comparison, or you could just keep it in that counting phase as well. Another way that we can practice fluency is thinking about using technology. So there are several examples out there of how we can use technology to practice counting. Here is one example, and if I keep standing here, you're not going to be able to see it. So let me move out of the way. So here, students are going to count how many, and they're trying to identify how many empty squares there are. So here, I could count that I have 1, 2 empty squares, and then I could answer that. I could also drag a certain number of items to the frame. So here it says drag 5 counters to the frame, and then I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I could end up punching down there, as you see at the very bottom, that number 5 to show that I counted 5. Then students could ask how many more are going to fill the frame. That involves counting. And then we move into addition and later subtraction, and all of that revolves around counting. So the thing about counting is it is essential for so many other things in mathematics, and using technology like this will help students practice their counting skill. Another way that students can count is to practice using count-arounds. So here, maybe you've got a group of students in your classroom, and you'll point to one student, they're going to start the counting sequence, and then we move around the circle as we count around. So we can count forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We could also count backward, maybe starting at 20, and let's count backward all the way to 1 or 0. Or I might say today I'm going to roll a dice, and let's roll a die. I'm always like, dice, that's 2, die is 1. Roll a die, and it says 7. Let's start counting at 7. So then I start 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can also do this with skip counting, which we'll get to in section 4 of this module. So I'd like you to push pause and think a little bit about how do you help your students with counting fluency. So first, think about what are some of the fluency activities you use to help students build fluency related to counting and cardinality. And then which of these previous activities might you try implementing in your classroom so that students develop that counting and cardinality fluency?